Okay, so good evening, friends. This is Chetan Vani from Apt Resources Private Limited. My channel name is My Online HR Manager. Uh, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a startup or an HR professional, this is an apt channel for you. On this channel, we do provide HR videos in a simplified way so that you can understand the concepts, the calculation. And today we are live on YouTube on our payroll processing question and answer session. This is the second session. We do conduct sessions on every Saturday. Here we randomly select 10 questions where we will answer the questions with explanation. And if you have any questions, you can please comment on the box on the comment, and then we will consider that questions too. Okay, so let's start with the session. Okay, so my online HR manager, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, kindly subscribe so that you won't miss any webinars or new HR videos uploaded on this channel. So as I said, this is a session of payroll processing question and answers. We have randomly selected 10 questions. If you have any during the session, you can comment your questions and we will consider that. Okay, so first question. Will an employee get pension 8.33% if he resigns, terminate within 6 months of service? Okay. See, a background about pension is a person should complete at least 10 years of service if he wants to get eligible for pension. Now the question is, will an employee get pension if he resign within 6 months? See, basically for pension, the rule is if you have completed less than 6 months, it is not treated as a service, as a year. For example, if you have worked just for 5 months, there will be no pension for you because that will not be treated as an year. On vice versa, if you have completed 9 years, 6 months, then it will be treated as 10 years. So whenever you complete more than 6 months, it is considered as a whole year. And if you complete less than 6 months, then there is no pension for that particular employee because in pension, that year doesn't exist because it's less than 6 months. So the answer is no. Can a company go for ESIC registration if it only has one employee? Okay, as an employer, we have the employer has a privilege to go for PF only if he has one employee, but that privilege is not there in ESIC. It should have at least 10 or more employees to go for ESIC registration. If he has only one employee, then that is not possible to go for registration. Yes, if he has 10 or more employees, then he can apply for the ESIC registration. So the third is the company a part of, is the company ESIC part of CTC or payslip? Now there are there is a company ESIC and there is a employee ESIC contribution. We all know this. Now when we talk about any company contribution, it is never a payslip part. It is an CTC part, cost to company part. So whenever you see any CTC, any contribution mentioned on PF or ESIC, that is company contribution and not an individual employee's contribution. So where this individual employee contribution reflects, it reflects in payslip. Whenever you get any payslip and you see the ESIC or you see the PF contribution amount, that is employee, not an employer. So the answer is payslip. Payslip is the correct answer. What is the 70. What is 70 in the pension formula? Okay. To understand this 70, first let's go through the formula. The formula is average pensionable salary divided by 70 into number of years of service. So this is a formula. You have to take a average of 5 years, that is 60 months salary, to get the average pensionable salary, then into number of years divided by 70. So I'm going to upload a new video on pension and what is pro rata pension, what is early pension. So these things I'm within a couple of days I will be uploading a new video. So kindly subscribe the channel and please hit the bell icon so you won't miss any new videos. Okay. Coming back to this point, 70 is a life expectancy of a member. On an average, an individual life expectancy is 70 years, what they have derived, and that 70 is nothing but a life expectancy of a member. So again, the formula, pensionable salary into number of years divided by 70. Okay, now some questions from the audience. Lithin Matthew is asking has asked in fact, how to make CTC for high range and low range salary who are exempted from taxes. Okay, Lithin, the thing is that the CTC for high range and low range, there are certain components which are required for high range CTC because that comes under the bracket, income tax bracket. Before explaining the CTC structure, let's understand the income tax bracket. Up to 5 lakh, it's nil considering the rebate, or else someone will comment that it is 2,50,000. So understand it's 2,50,000 and the second slab 2,50,000 to 5, there is a rebate of 12,500. So if you in short, it is up to 5 lakh, there is no tax. So this low range CTC, if you have to prepare, then you can consider basic HRA, conveyance, or you can consider bonus also as a part of CTC. There is hardly anything that will matter because that person will not come under the bracket of income tax. So keeping which components hardly won't be any task or any a tough task to do that. So normal components, basic plus DA, HRA, conveyance, medical, CCA, special allowance, PF, ESIC, these things can be considered. Now talking about the high range CTC. So when we talk about the high range CTC, that will come under the income tax bracket. Now how to prepare that CTC? So in that you can add LTA, that is leave travel allowance, so that person can get a benefit of claiming that LTA to save the tax. You can also add other that is perks. You can add the perks in that. So there are other things which driver salary or car maintenance, these things can be added, books and periodicals, then meal coupons. So these things can be added to make a CTC for a higher employees. So to get the exemption from the tax. If an employee has only one employee, do they need to pay profession tax for that employee? The answer is yes. If any organization having one employee, maybe a proprietorship, maybe a private limited, maybe a public limited, they have to pay PT because PT is applicable on one employee also, and it's a state act. It differs from different state to state. Some state don't have PT, and some state have monthly PT, some have annual PT. So all this we have uploaded in our course of payroll processing, which is conducted for 2 days live seminar. We do conduct on payroll processing. So that is, we have provided all these labs for profession tax. So the answer is yes. How many employees are required for a company to become eligible for gratuity? So a company should have 10 or more employees, then the company is eligible for the gratuity. And gratuity is applicable for all employees irrespective of their salary and the status. So the gratuity formula is basic divided by 26, basic plus DA divided by 26 into 15 into number of years of service. Now there's a question, will an employee gets gratuity if not covered under the act? What is covered under the act? You should fulfill that commitment of the number of employees. That means that all employees are covered under the act. Now the question is, suppose if a company is not covered under the act, will that employee gets a gratuity? So the answer is yes, but it depends upon the employer. He may or he may not get. That is an employer's choice to give if the company is not covered under the Gratuity Act. I have made a extended video on this, that how to calculate employees gratuity who are not covered under the act. I have already made a video on this. I'll provide the link in the description box. You can go through the calculations, but for the time being the answer is yes, but that depends upon the employer. Is leave with pay considered as working days in bonus? Okay, now the bonus is something which is given in a accounting year, that is April to March, if the employee has completed 30 working days in a year. That means that employee is eligible for the bonus. He has to complete 30 working days in an accounting year. So now, is leave with pay considered? Now working days had certain definitions given in the act, where are certain things they have mentioned. If it is not a fault of an employee, and if it's a fault of employer, the days will be covered, and out of which leave with pay, obviously it's a leave, there's no fault, that's the rule. But there are certain things which comes under the fault of employer, for example layoff, then in that case that will be considered as working days in bonus. Same for leave. Leave with pay is also considered as a working day. Suppose if some employee was present for 28 days and 2 days he was on leave, so that 28 plus 2, that is leave with pay, will be added as 30 and he is eligible to get bonus. If it is leave without pay, then definitely no, he is not going to consider. If it is 29 days also he has working days and one loss of pay, he is not eligible under the Bonus Act. Now, when is company applicable to pay bonus? We have seen when is employee applicable to get bonus. Now we will see when is company applicable to pay bonus. See, a company is applicable when it makes a profit. That's obviously, it's actually it's not applicable when it make a profit. The company is applicable from 6th year. For first 5 years, any new company, any new entity is exempted from giving bonus if it is facing or incurring losses. Within that first 5 years, a company need not have to pay bonus to its employees if they are incurring losses. But after the 5th year, that is from 6th year, even if the company is facing or incurring losses, it has to pay the bonus to its employee, minimum 8.33%, which is prescribed under the Act. So when a company is applicable, after 5 years, compulsory they have to pay the bonus of 8.33%. So that's it, guys. This were the 10 random questions selected, and I would be more happy if you could comment on the questions or the queries you are having, so I can include them in the next session, which would be on 9th January at 4 p.m. Once again, do subscribe to the channel, do comments your views, share these channels to the entrepreneurs, to the startups, or to the HR professionals. Thank you once again.